The dark side of Dubai, the Dubai they don't want you to see. Wow, so it's not all that, is it?
Dubai, with its skyscrapers and extravagant shopping malls, is the picture of a city that defies the imagination. Everything there is grandiose, luxurious, and meticulously designed to impress the world. But this glamorous city, which many see as the capital of the future, has a side that few know about. A hidden side where gold crumbles into dust and glamour gives way to a harsh and suffocating reality. That place is called Sonapur. For most visitors, it's just an unknown name, a spot off the tourist map. But for thousands of migrant workers, Sonapur is the very definition of survival. Today, Bello Mundo will take you to see this visceral contrast between two Dubais, one where luxury shines brightly and another where the struggle for the basics is a constant. Dubai is located on the southeast coast of the Persian Gulf, right in the heart of the Arabian Desert, a strategic position that easily connects it to the Middle East, Europe, Asia, and Africa. It is part of the United Arab Emirates, a federation of 7 emirates, and Dubai is just one of them. That surprises a lot of people, doesn't it? In addition to Dubai, the United Arab Emirates includes Abu Dhabi, Fujairah, Ras Al Khaimah, Sharjah, Al Quwain, and Ajman. And although Dubai is famous, the country's capital is the city of Abu Dhabi, which bears the same name as the emirate. Dubai is an impressive city, built in one of the most extreme climates on the planet. Surrounded by vast sand dunes and bathed by the Persian Gulf, it stands out for its contrasts. On the one hand, the glitter of skyscrapers and vibrant lights. On the other, the endless stretches of desert sand. And although it all looks like sand and sun, Dubai surprises with its diversity of landscapes. This city, which today is synonymous with wealth and modernity, began quite differently. At the beginning of the 20th century, Dubai was a simple fishing village. The local port made the region grow, boosting maritime trade and pearl cultivation, and turned Dubai into an important trading center in the Arab world. But the real boom came in 1966 with the discovery of oil in the Fateh field, about 120 kilometers east of the city. The wealth brought by oil was just the beginning. Dubai didn't sit back. Over time, the city diversified its economy, which today includes commerce, finance.
Look at the speed. Goodness me, talk about vision, man.
Diversified its economy, which today includes commerce, finance, services, tourism, and much more. The result of all this effort is a city that no longer depends exclusively on oil and that reinvents itself every day. However, despite spending tons of money on transforming the city, these investments have been directed towards visual changes, while structural issues have been left aside. In fact, a clear example of this that has become world famous is the queue of pit trucks used to remove the sewage produced by the city. Although the images are old and much of the problem has already been solved, they serve to show that the government preferred to build the big buildings first, and only then think about building the necessary infrastructure for them. Today, even if less frequently, Dubai still resorts to the tanker system, as the city's sewage system is not due to be completed until 2025. With its growth, Dubai has become a constant fixture in the world's top rankings, but many areas that were once fertile have been used for the construction of buildings and infrastructure. And guess what? The reduction in agricultural land is also being accelerated by desertification. In just 16 years between 2002 and 2018, Dubai lost 56% of its arable land, in other words, more than half. And this reduction was happening at the same time as the demand for food and other natural resources, such as water, was increasing. It's worth remembering that between 2000
Oh, that reminds me of the flood that took place in Dubai, actually. Yeah, that flood was crazy. But yeah, let's get to it.
figures. As we've just mentioned, Dubai currently has a population of over 3 million inhabitants, and believe it or not, almost 90% of them are foreigners. It's a city of
Wow.
mixed cultures, where Islam is the predominant religion and luxury is the calling card. Today, Dubai is home to some of the world's greatest architectural icons. From the Burj Khalifa, the tallest building on the planet, to the artificial palm-shaped islands, the city is a showcase of modernity and opulence. Tourism is a fundamental economic pillar, and each new building seems to shout out, "Welcome to the future." Now that we have the geographical and cultural context, let's get into what really matters.
Let's skip this.
The Dubai you don't see in the tourist guides. And you know that expression from luxury to trash? It makes total sense here. Imagine crossing an invisible line. On one side are Dubai's five-star hotels, artificial beaches, and luxurious restaurants where tourists bask under the sun. On the other,
On the
an
other
area
side.
that seems to exist in a parallel universe where glamour gives way to the daily struggle for survival. And that place is called Sonapur, an accommodation that looks more like a prison. This is where immigrant workers live, those who build the Dubai of their dreams, but who inhabit a
Right.
reality far removed from luxury and ostentation. Instead of the glitter of social media, Sonapur is a place of cramped shacks where
Was it named because people there are poor? Son of poor. You know, poor people. But yeah, I'm very curious.
everything is shared, from the rooms to the weight of an exhausting routine. After all, for everything to shine, someone has to pay the price, right? Literally, luxury versus trash. To understand how this division became so extreme, we need to go back in time a little. Back in the 1960s, Dubai was just a British protectorate, a fishing and trading village. It was a
Crazy.
place where camel herders crossed the desert and life was modest. Until suddenly everything changed. Oil was discovered, transforming this village into one of the richest regions on the planet. The town was turned upside down and, like a modern gold rush, began to attract people from all over the world in search of opportunities. It was then that campaigns began to bring in workers from other countries. Today, around 85% of Dubai's population is made up of foreigners. They come from all over, South Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and even America. This melting pot of culture than you might think. Well, it's worth remembering that people who leave their respective countries are in search of better conditions, so many of these workers hope that with the money they receive, they will be able to support their families' studies and provide better living.
If I didn't know, a lot of Nigerians go there as well to support, you know, for the studies, just like literally what the narrator just said, and to try and make something of themselves, better living. Nigerians, Ghanaians, Chinese people. In fact, everybody really. At one point, I was gonna fly over there to do architecture because I'd done architecture, you see, but something told me not to, and I'm glad.
Conditions for their families back home. Right? Well, unfortunately, there is a kind of mafia here. There are many companies that go to these countries, such as India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the Philippines, to hire workers and bring them here under the promise that they will have housing, food, transportation, everything they need, even medical insurance. But the reality is quite different. When these workers land in Dubai, they realize that the promises are just empty words. The much vaunted improvement in their lives turns into something more akin to slavery, disguised as a job. But you might be wondering, why don't they just leave? Most of
They
them
can't.
lose their rights the moment they set foot in the United Arab Emirates. As soon as they arrive, their employers confiscate their passports and send them straight to Sonapur, where they are virtually isolated. And to make
Wow.
matters worse, local legislation is not on the side of immigrants. Dubai may have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the world, around 0.05%, but this hides a complicated reality. Those who lose their jobs have just 30 days to find a new occupation, or they will be
They get
deported.
deported.
In other
Wow.
words, for many, taking any job that comes along is the only way to keep going. And so these workers end up trapped in a cycle where they live with countless restrictions, saving the bare minimum to send some money to their families when they can. Most live in extreme need, struggling even to cover basic expenses. Want an example? The salary of a cleaner in Dubai is around 800 dirhams a month, approximately
Which is?
$200. Of this
Per month. Oh
amount, he
my.
sends more than half to his family and uses the rest to support himself. It may seem
Wow.
like an acceptable salary when compared to the minimum in some countries, but we mustn't forget that the cost of living in Dubai is very high. To give you an idea, the rent for a small studio apartment, as one-piece apartments are called, varies between 1,500 and 4,000 dirhams. Can you imagine trying to live on such a tight salary in a place where everything costs so much? The solution is to share. On average, each worker shares a room with 5 other people in order to save as much as possible and guarantee the basics:
Wow.
food,
Goodness me.
clothing, and transportation. These workers' days are long and exhausting. Often the men who work in Sonapur don't even have the minimum conditions to maintain their hygiene. The accommodation for migrant workers in Dubai, known as work camps or labor camps, often has precarious conditions. In these places, it is common for several workers to share small rooms, with capacity for up to 10 or 15 people in spaces of around 10 square meters. The sanitary facilities are usually communal, with toilets and showers shared by a large number of residents, often in an inadequate state of repair. There is almost no shower. The solution for many is to use a bucket. The kitchen is communal, visibly dirty and totally out of line with the quality standards of other countries, with several workers crowded into spaces that are normally built by themselves. The most frightening thing is that even the pipes and ventilation spaces were built by the workers, without supervision by the responsible bodies. Although many of these accommodations offer air conditioning due to the high temperatures in the region, maintenance is not always adequate, affecting the workers' quality of life. In other words, it's almost inhumane. And so the salaries, which at first seemed like a promise for the future, turn out to be insufficient to cover expenses and send money home. The expectation of prosperity turns into a struggle to simply survive.
I mean, look at the conditions that they're living in. Bunk beds. These are grown men, by the way. Yeah, this is definitely the nasty side that you don't see of Dubai. So when you hear Dubai, if you're comfortable living where these lot are living, okay, no problem. But if you're not, you might want to rethink, especially if you have no money. So now it makes sense as to why all these influencers tell you like, hey, Dubai is expensive. Dubai is this, Dubai is that. I thank God that I definitely didn't go. I thank God I didn't go. But yeah, you guys, let's see the comment section where it says, I will never understand how that place has so much money to build everything but decent housing and 100%. The pains of suffering that Africans especially go through in Dubai isn't just unbearable, but is unimaginable. Very true and sad. Thank you for educating us about this human rights violation in UAE, existing slavery. Indeed, thank you, big time. Let's see. Okay, seems like a face I knew. Whoa, I just visited the UAE a week ago. The tour guide did not mention anything about this place. I knew in mind that there had to be underpaid. Yep. Yeah, so the comment section for this documentary shed light onto some hidden Dubai. Yeah, it does. It really does. The dark sides revealing shocking realities. Homeless migrant workers struggling to survive, exploited labor, and growing a gap in rich and poor. Dubai that needs to be seen and understood. An eye-opening documentary, The Side of 100%, untold stories, harsh realities behind the city's rapid rise. Truly thought-provoking and worth watching. Wow. So these comments are good. About an hour. Yeah, these comments are real good. I mean, thank you, Bello Mundo, for shedding some light into this, because, as I said, majority of people are clueless as to what is going on in Dubai. Let me know in the comment section down below. Will you live in Dubai or not? Or after watching this documentary, you're like, hey, no. Oh, hell no. So yeah, stay prayed up. May God bless you. Like, subscribe, and do all of that stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.